Hello, everybody. It's that college football guy here. Another video. There's been a lot of reports going on out there, and I've said this before. But apparently, it needs to be cleared up. I mean, this is a little bit about conference realignment, but in a sense, it's not. Folks, let me just say this, okay? Just because the Pac-12 doesn't have a TV deal means it doesn't mean the whole thing's going to blow up. Doesn't mean that they do have a TV deal. My hair goes all over the place here. That it won't blow up. Look, what do we know? And the fact is this: they said, "Oh, the Big 12, I mean, Pac-12 is going to implode. The Big 12 is going to raid the Pac-12." If the Pac-12 was going to implode, don't you think it would have happened already? We can't get a TV deal done. It's sitting around. Nobody wants to leave until they get a TV deal. Nobody wants to leave. Period. Okay, let's get real here. Scratch my back a little bit. Ah. But anyway, nobody wants to leave. Period. Nobody wants to leave the Pac-12, because if they had, they would want to already. They're just going at George. George Kliavkoff, the Pac-12 commissioner. Come on, George. We need a minimal amount of money, George. George, we need more money, George. We need more money, George. Keep going getting it, George. Come on, George. Go get the money, George. It's basically what we're looking at here. Because if they wanted to leave, they're going to leave. So, oh, they're on their ESPN's out on Tier 1 rights. ESPN was never in on Tier 1 rights, okay? They wanted one game a week. One. Pen down. One game a week. That's not Tier 1. Amazon wants one game a week. That's not Tier 1 either. Apple wants everything. From what I'm not heard anything. This is my opinion. I think that George and the members would like to have Amazon have their one game a week, ESPN have their one game a week, and Apple take Tier 1 and Tier 2 and take the rest of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. If not, see if they can get another linear TV partner who's willing to take the rest of Tier 1 and part of Tier 2, or however that works, or 2 and 3, and they figure out a way, or whatever. But, because I fully believe this, every single member who of the Pac-12, who is now, basically it's the Pac-10 now, to be real about it, and remember the Pac-10 are still sticking around, they're not going to the Big 12. They're not going to the Big 10. They want to stay put. They all, I think, it's a pride issue. Not for, we have to lower ourselves to go to the Big 12, or we have to travel to the Big 10. Even though a lot of them would jump in a heartbeat at the Big 10 and say, hey, you want to come over? But that's beside the point. I think this is all about the fact that of the ego and pride saying, we can survive without USC and UCLA, and we're going to thrive without USC and UCLA. Now, every normal college football fan will look at you and go like you're out of your mind. But this isn't the way they're thinking, because I look at it this way. I've said this before, I'm saying this now. What do I think is going to happen? One thing that has to happen, they've got to get, I don't know for sure if the drop dead deadline is December 31st. I don't know that for sure. I've only heard that. The drop dead deadline, if you were talking about last minute, would technically be June 30th, since the new deal's, the day it ends is June 30th. You could technically do it then. I don't know if negotiation window or clauses in contracts or how that procedural would be done. But realistically, they got to get the deal done before the 1st of August. Before full, actually realistically before the July, but fall camp. Because once the regular season starts, any leverage the Pac-12 had is gone. All of it's gone. Every last bit of it is gone. Why is it gone? Think about it. If you're a media partner, television network, are you going to give them more money during the season, knowing the fact they're bent over a barrel? Like, you know what, we were going to offer you $9 million, but I'm thinking we're going to cut that down to $7. And we were offering you 15. Problem is, it's just this window. I don't think it's worth enough. I think we're going to drop you down to 11, because the longer it takes, once the season starts, the worse it is. Because once we get in this last year, July 1st is technically the last year of the contract. Once that happens and there's still no deal, and we get to the point of the season start, the season's over, and they're going to go in the off season and start negotiating, the media partners have the leverage. They already technically do right now. But now would be more than enough proof that, yes, they do have the leverage. They do have all of the advantages once the season starts, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. It's not anybody else. This is just my opinion. But does anybody really believe in your heart that the Pac-12 schools want to break up? They don't. They want to stick together. They want the academics. They want the research money. They want everything. They want their higher education. And what I also think, I don't think they're going to add anybody. I realistically think when all is said and done, the Pac-12 will still exist, but it's only going to be 10 members because there's not enough immediate, unless somebody comes out of the backwoods and comes in and says, hey, we're going to give you more money. I just don't see it happening. I don't see them adding anybody, not this go around. So I think for this next 5 years, 4 years, whatever the heck the deal is, it'll be short of that, obviously. But 4 years from now, if it's a 5-year deal, it'll be 4 years from now. The Pac-12 is going to be safe because they want to find out if they can survive or not, what their revenue would be. And the Pac-12 is also knowing the fact that they are, even though they've been around a while, right now they're an unknown commodity. Nobody knows how valuable these other members are without USC and UCLA because it's never been done before. Once the new TV deal hits, the new media deal hits, then they'll know. It's like this contract, I think they're going to be safe. They're not going to break apart. Next contract, however, you're no longer an unknown. You're a known. You know exactly how much money they're going to make and find out if you overpaid for them, you're there about what they're worth, or you underpaid for them. What that will be, nobody knows because we don't know until it actually happens. Everything is guesswork. So I think they're going to get a deal done. I think they're going to stay together. I think they're going to go and stay together at 10 teams and survive. But the TV deal after this one, I think that's when the real trouble is going to begin. Because the Big 10 may be on hold and the Big 12 may be on hold. And at that point, that's almost what 5 years from now is going to be. What, be 2024, 2029? They may be able to get another deal together because they need to have some stability. Because truthfully, would you want to have your media deal, if you're the Pac-12, coming up the same time as the ACCs? Because it's going to be a feeding frenzy. But you let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Do you honestly believe, truthfully, do you think the Pac-12 is going to break apart? I don't. I think those 10 are going to stick together. I think they're going to not add anybody because I think it's because of ego and pride and saying we're higher level. We are a collection of higher level universities, specific on higher education, but of an extremely elite level. We are the elite universities of the Western United States. We are collectively together in research and all other avenues. And we believe that even without a media market, I literally watched someone who said, all LA is a media market. Yeah, just the second biggest one in the country, genius. Some people. Anyway, but they believe that they can survive without it. Now, will it be to what level they want? That's the magic question. What is the minimum? Because that we don't know. And we're not going to know anything until it happens. Everything else is simply guesswork. But let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Do you think the Pac-12, truthfully, do you think the Pac-12 is going to fall apart? Do you think someone's going to leave? Or do you think the way I do, that they're going to stick together? Not add anybody now, because I haven't unless there's somebody adds some extra money. I don't see it. They stay together now for a short-term deal, and then we see what happens in 5 years or 4 years. But you let me know down in the comments what you think. So thanks, everybody, for watching the video. Again, hope everybody has a great Sunday. I'm going to be a couple hours before I got to leave, so we'll see what happens. Heading down south to Mississippi. So thanks, everybody, for watching the video. Have a great Sunday. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.